So the show is called Slacktivist.
That's right, yes. It's a combination of the word slacker and activist. Combination of the two, obviously making Slacktivist. We were thinking of doing it the other way around, you know, obviously activist and slacker, but then that would have been actor. So we thought probably if we'd called it actor, people wouldn't get the double reference. So obviously I want to point out Slacker. Slacker is obviously a character I play. I want people to know I've worked 24/7, 365, 45 on this. So, but it's now. It's time to let the baby fly.
So what sort of character do you play on the stage?
Andy Parsons. Obviously the character shares the same name as me. Sounds like me, looks like me, thinks the things I think, does the things that I do. But yeah, it's totally different. It's like a spirit that possesses me, and you know, when I'm there in the zone, I think I can go anywhere. You know, that's what I think. Obviously, I never have, ever, but I feel that I could.
What were you hoping to achieve in the show?
90 minutes, really. I mean, obviously, a lot of comics, they go for content, some go for reaction, but me, I play time. Because I always think if you play enough time, sooner or later, the magic's going to happen. You know, and 90 minutes to me is perfect, because that's almost often as much magic as you can take. I mean, sometimes we've had so much magic in the show, after 45 minutes, we will have had an interval. In fact, we've always had an interval. And often there's been a lot of magic in the interval. You know, often more than in the show.
And are you hoping to get a reaction from the show?
Always. I mean, we're hoping as soon as anybody walks into the theatre, we want reaction. When anybody opens that DVD case, we want reaction. Even when they see just a little bit of the DVD on a shelf, you know, in the distance as they're walking towards it, we want a reaction. Everything we've done in this show has screamed reaction. Costume, lighting, sets, microphone stand. You know, I mean, I think you'd have to be cold in the heart not to give this show a reaction. But I just don't think it's possible. Not over 90 minutes. You'd play time and have an interval.
And has there been some controversy with this show?
Always, always. I mean, you can imagine a lot of what I have to say is unpalatable. But luckily, it's not me who's actually saying it. And, you know, you can imagine that some of those things that I'm saying, you know, I don't set out to be controversial, but, you know, some people just don't want to hear my truth. And you can imagine if you mention rape, paedophile, Islam, abortion, Madeleine McCann and the Queen in one sentence, you can imagine some people struggle to see the nuance. That, you know, not that I ever have, but it's good, isn't it?
So talk us through the set.
Well, minimalist. I mean, it fits in with the Slacker theme, minimalist. Obviously, it's cheap as well. But we have actually taken lots away, you know. We had a lot more on stage to begin with. The theatre gave us loads of stuff, but we deliberately removed most of it. Because people talk about putting the money on the stage, but we wanted people to look at the stage and try and work out where the money was. And they can never see it. And we regard that as a victory.
And the music you come on to?
Well, it's 10 seconds that I think set up the show so brilliantly. When people ask me what is the show about, I think I could just play them those 10 seconds and they would know. I think I've got it on my phone, I think, so let's just see if we can get this going. Here we go. I mean, you know, I think that is job done, isn't it?
What sort of warm-up do you do beforehand?
Well, obviously I'm method, so, you know, got to fit in with the Slacker theme. I often would, you know, usually just walk straight on stage. Over the years I've done many things, you know, I've been there the day before sometimes I've star jumped, sometimes just gone for a wee bit of chocolate, you know, but this time, you know, I'd walk straight in the stage door, I'd walk straight past the dressing room, straight on stage. I mean, it surprised everybody, but I really thought that was what was required.
Do you ever drink on stage?
Well, you know, if it's what the part demands, and it usually does, for the Slacker, or you know, usually about 3 beforehand, maybe 4 on stage, maybe 3 afterwards. Obviously, technically afterwards, you don't need to do it, do you? You know, the show's over. But I really like that attention to detail, you know, even when it's pointless. Obviously, you do need to be careful when you're drinking on stage. You know, you don't want to be slurring your words necessarily, or, you know, sweating a lot, you know, shouting at disabled people in the audience because it's a bit dark and you can't really see where the noise is coming from. But you know, if the part requires it, then I think that's absolutely fine.
Anything else you'd like for people at home to know?
Well, I'm always a little bit disappointed that people don't actually spend more time looking at the position of the microphone stand during the show. I would love people, you know, we've not just thrown this together. You know, we have thought about the different positions, we have tried it in different positions, and the ones that they're in currently in this show are the funniest. So maybe when people are watching it back, you know, I don't know, 5th, 6th, 7th time, maybe just have a little look out for where the microphone stand is. And yeah, there's magic there even when you don't think there might be.
Well, thank you for your time.
Please. You realise this bulb isn't in fact on? I mean, we're going to have to do it all over again, aren't we?
I thought that was the way you wanted it.
No. I don't know, maybe it... No, I think it probably fits. I think actually it can work. No, I think it's fine. Maybe just lose the bit where I screw it back in. That doesn't say Slacktivist, does it? Yeah, just lose that.